Hey guys, Sanjay here for STL Tones, and in this video we're going to be dialing in some guitar tones and bass tones using AMPHUB for this song that I have in front of me. In part 2 of this series, I'm going to be mixing this entire song using only Controlhub, and we are really going to be pushing it to see how far we can take it. So let's get into the video and dial in some tones. So the secret to a great guitar tone begins right before you even turn on the amp sim. It's going to start with how you play the parts, how tightly you've performed the parts, and how well you've actually managed to track and edit these guitar takes. So this might mean recording the guitars section by section and then piecing them together to get a pro sounding performance. Another thing to remember is the newer the guitar strings are, the better it's going to sound. So if you have an important recording that you're putting together, make sure you change your guitar strings even before you start recording anything at all. So the strings on this particular guitar was changed 5 days prior to recording this particular song, so it still sounds fresh and new. So when tracking all these guitars to get the best performance, I find that you need to have a very inspiring guitar tone to start with to monitor yourself while you're recording. I knew that I wanted to use the Bogner amp, and I have a preset called the Chewy Bogner Rhythm Guitar that's actually available on the STL Tones Exchange, but we're going to be dialing this preset in to suit the song even more now that all the guitar tracks have been recorded. So I already like the way things are sounding with this particular preset, but I do want to change a couple of things. So the first thing that I want to change is this overdrive pedal. I do like this Ibanez Tube Screamer style pedal, but let's see if we can do something else. So this was the one we were using. I really do like the Plumes overdrive. Let's see how this sounds like. So you can clearly hear how the guitars are now tightened up when the overdrive is on. It sounds a lot more tight, there is no loose low end anymore, and it also sounds more saturated and powerful. And the way we've done this is by cranking the level all the way up. So the amount of signal going into the amp, we're kind of pushing it. It's like a push, it's like a boost thing. We're kind of boosting the signal going into the amp. We are kind of dialing the gain all the way back. We don't want any gain from the pedal. And we're also going to be using this tone knob to kind of get a little more brightness before it actually hits the amp itself. So one more time with it on and with it off. So while dialing in the EQ on the amp head itself, it's very important to keep in mind the cabinet section and what cabs you're going to be using. In this particular case, I really love the way the cabs are already sounding, so I'm not going to actually move any of these settings. So I'm going to be coming back to my EQ over here and fine-tuning it based on how I'm hearing it as a final tone. So adding an EQ pedal after you've dialed in the guitar tone is a really powerful way of just controlling your tone even more and pushing the frequencies that you really like out of your guitar tone. So once I've dialed in a tone that I'm happy with, I'm going to be checking it with the drums and the bass to see how they all play with each other and make some changes on the EQ if I need to make it sit even better in the mix. So let's do that. So in this section of the song, what I'm looking for is a very crunchy guitar sound. We want to move away from the very metal sounding guitar tone and enter the more rock sounding guitar sound. So I've already put together a preset here and I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to be using the same ideas from the rhythm guitar section. We have an overdrive pedal, and we are going to be using the same cabs because I really like the way the cabs are sounding. And if you change the cabs, it's going to sound drastically different, and that's not what we want. We want to have a similar EQ curve on all the guitar tones, so that's why I'm using the same cab combination on all of them, all of these tones. But I am going to be dialing in a different amp head so that we get a more crunchy rock sounding tone and not a very heavy sounding metal tone. So this is what we ended up with. I've been breaking every mirror I can escape. So I'm going to remove this compressor, and I'm actually going to try the other overdrive pedal that we tried out on the rhythm guitar sound and see if it sounds better than the one that's already on this. So again, what we are listening for is that low end tightness, and I feel like in this particular section this overdrive sounds better than this overdrive. So I'm going to be deleting this and I'm going to be rolling with this guy. Now let's see how that sounds with everything else in the mix. So what I'm looking for when I'm dialing in a fuzz guitar sound as a layer for a rhythm guitar is to add a little bit of extra beef and a little bit of extra thickness to the guitar sound. I'm going to be using the same rhythm guitar preset that we created, but I'm going to be removing the overdrive pedal and replacing that with a fuzz pedal, and we're going to tweak it further to make it sit better with each other. I really love doing it like this because as a guitar layer, since the cabs are all the same, it's going to blend in with each other a lot more better, and it's not really going to stick out too much. It's going to just add an extra layer of thickness underneath. So they say that we suggest you keep it between 10 and 20% for the best results. Increasing it too much will cause a buzzy type of a tone. But in this case, I really love the buzzy tone that's kind of coming out of this, and that's what we want for this particular song. So feel free to move around and be creative and do what you think sounds good for the track. So now let's see how it sits with the main rhythm guitar stack. So this song is on drop C sharp. It's not really low at all in today's context. So adding in this extra bit of fuzz underneath is really thickening it up and making it almost sound like a lower tuned guitar. So when dialing in a clean guitar tone, especially on a song like this, what I'm really looking for is to add a little bit of brightness and a little bit of chiminess and shimmer to the whole song. And we're going to be doing that by using a combo amp. I really love the Vox AC30 in real life, and we're going to be using this Vulture A30 combo amp to basically get that. I really love to keep the signal chain very clean and very simple. So I just have a reverb and a delay over here, delay and a reverb. And I also love throwing in a chorus from time to time, and I'm going to see if we can get some cool sounds out of that. So when I'm dialing in a bass tone in the context of the whole mix, what I'm really looking for is to get the foundation right, which is basically the low end of the bass right, because that's going to drive the low end of the entire song. So what I really love to do before tweaking the amp is to add a compressor just to level out the bass guitar playing even before it hits the amp. Ideally, you would try to play this as evenly as possible on the bass, or if you're programming bass, I still find that you need to compress it before it hits the amp so that it sounds a lot more even and the amp responds the way it's supposed to respond. So this is the compressor that I'm using. I've just dialed it in to even things out. Then now let's go into the amp, and this is how it sounds like at the moment. We'll tweak this and make it fit better into the mix. What I really love with bass tones especially is I love blending in a 210 cab along with a 410 bass cab. This blend knob right here is a real game changer when it comes to dialing in a bass tone. You can really kind of get the clarity side and you can get the low end side and find a great balance with all of this. So I like to keep things really simple for a guitar solo. I'm just going to be using the rhythm tone again and adding some reverb and delay and other effects to make it wide and lush and full sounding. So let's add a delay. So I'm super happy with that. Let's see how that's sitting with everything else. Thanks so much for checking out the video. If you haven't had a chance to try out AMPHUB yet, now is a great time to go and check out STL Tone's AMPHUB. Get over to their website and take the trial and check it out for yourself. Part 2 of the video in this series, you're going to watch me mix the entire song using only Controlhub. That's going to be awesome as well. So come back and watch that video as well. So until next time, I've been Sanjay and I'll see you in the next one.